We just got some exciting news that thousands of people may be eligible to buy a home for the first time. So for about the last 20 years, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have used the Classic FICO score models number 2, number 4, and number 5. And if it sounds like I'm speaking gibberish to you, that's okay. If you want to check it out, my very first video on this channel was actually about these scores. Go take a look, because the information in that video might not be accurate for a whole lot longer. But under the FHFA's new regulations, Fannie and Freddie are going to be required to use only 2 new credit score models. So instead of FICO scores 2, 4, and 5, Fannie and Freddie are going to be using FICO 10T and VantageScore 4.0. FICO 10T is a relatively new credit scoring model that was actually introduced back in 2020. It differs from the classic FICO scores in that it tracks trends over time. That's what the little T stands for in FICO 10T. Trends, because it's tracking trends data. And with that trends data, FICO 10T is actually going to take a lot more consideration into your payment history over time and your overall credit utilization over time. But the whole idea is that they are looking at the data over time instead of one spot in time. And just a little side note here, Experian, one of the credit bureaus, actually has a blog post about FICO 10T that I think goes into a little bit more depth for you. I've linked that in the description below. And the VantageScore 4.0 model is actually very similar to FICO 10T in that it tracks trends over time. It will also count any rental history or bill payment history if it's been reported to the bureaus. That alone is expected to contribute to thousands of people gaining access to home loans for the first time when they would have otherwise been rejected. Now, VantageScore is actually a joint effort between the big 3 credit bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And up until recently, VantageScore just wasn't taken serious because, I'll be honest, lenders just didn't use it. In fact, I actually referred to VantageScore as garbage in the past. If you ask me, VantageScore is garbage. This was because at the time, VantageScore had largely been used as a marketing sales funnel tool instead of for lending. VantageScore's credit score models were also widely different from the models that lenders actually used at the time, FICO's 2, 4, and 5. And that rendered them basically useless. So it really wasn't helpful to anybody. The new rule instituted by the FHFA changes the game completely though, and VantageScore is no longer garbage. It should be taken seriously, just as serious as all the other FICO scores. If this sounds like a big deal, it kind of is. There's a good possibility that the new models will change how everyone's scores are calculated and used within the industry. Some people's scores will go up and some people's scores will go down. Although thousands of people will benefit from these changes, everyone will need to stay vigilant in their good financial habits. Because of the nature of trends data, it's more important than ever to be paying all of your bills on time. In the past, some people might have only paid just their credit card bills to make sure that their credit stays good. But now you want to make sure that you're paying your rent, your electricity, your cable bill, your internet bill. All those things might get picked up on FICO 10T or VantageScore 4.0, so all your bills count. You'll also want to make sure that you are doing a good job at keeping your credit utilization low, because the trends data is going to track how much of your overall credit you're using over time. And lenders are going to want to see that the balance is consistently low or that it's coming down from a high place consistently. If you have a high utilization and it's not trending down, it's not going to be good. So get started building a good track record right now, because this trends data is supposed to track 24 months or more. Now, even though the FHFA has come out with this news, I still have at least one question, if not more. And the top of the list of questions for me is, how are lenders going to choose which credit score to use? Currently, lenders run all 3 FICO models, FICO 2, FICO 4, and FICO 5. I go over this in that video I mentioned earlier, but they run all 3 and then they take the median number. But when you only have 2 scores to work with, you can't choose a median because there is no middle number. So how are they going to do it? Are they going to pick the highest number or the lowest number? Are they going to average them together? I really don't know, and the FHFA has not come out and stated this yet either. That's actually a huge piece of the puzzle for me in deciding how I'm going to make financial decisions, because I'm able to estimate what my credit score is when lenders are going to look at it for when I'm buying a house. And I've mentioned this before. This is my number one question. And while I don't have answers now, I am seriously looking forward to answers in the next year or so, because it's my understanding that the FHFA is looking to roll out these changes slowly over the next couple years. And I really want to be ready. So given that, I actually have listed a few of the resources that the FHFA has released, and I've linked them down below in the description. You can go ahead and give that a look. But until we find out more, what do you think? Do you think the new score models are going to help you get a higher score or a lower score? And is it going to benefit you when you're trying to buy a house? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.